I would like to say that I see here today my colleagues celebrating and talking about how Raila is the greatest man who was. How I wish we listened to what they are saying 3 years ago. How Raila was a mganga, how he was somebody who was completely useless to our political dispensation. Where, by the way, why have you never gotten rid of him? Now, today he's being praised of being the hero worship we wanted. Raila has been a hero worship, yes, but we will expect him to give us the excellence we expect from him. He will join your government, and if he is not going to demand that abductions stop in this republic, that we stop the corruption that is going on in our country, that we actually govern ourselves with the responsibility where we accept that our countries within our region respect us and we respect them. We went in to hunt. I am saying I don't think we were prepared to hunt well and kill the elephant. My argument is we have a country where we are constantly looking for options and solutions away from the reality of what we are dealing with. I have heard my colleagues say that there were people celebrating that in fact Raila lost. Yes, they celebrated because they are fearful. They want Raila to come back because the country looks unstable and it's not ready to move on. I don't know why you don't want me to talk. Mr. Speaker, let me make it easy for you. I withdraw.
Okay, fine.
And apologize for my majority. Can I proceed? Proceed? So let me say, so that you don't waste my time, let me say what I'm saying. We, as a leadership, must understand that whatever that was happening is not removed from our reality. Just as you're planning to organize so that Prime Minister Raila can then go for his election at AU, what do? You allow individuals to pick Besije and they abduct him and take him to Uganda. I am literally shocked at the way my colleagues are behaving and what they are saying on this floor. The reason why I'm shocked is because somehow I happen to be advantaged because I've been around this system for the last 25 years. I have been around politicking, taking vehicles to Kabarak to go and see President Moi and beg him to give me a handout so that I could run for elections. I have seen what happened in 2007 when we came to this house and I saw the hate, the vitriol, the anger. What were we fighting about? An election which had been lost, and of course we were on the other side which lost, quote unquote, and we stood here and said how we wished anybody who was on the other side should have been dead. I have watched the coalition government work and then it failed. In this republic I have seen President Uhuru come into power and his elections are nullified, and I've seen how he handled it. And I have seen how President William Ruto becomes president. So I hope my colleagues will give me an opportunity to lay out my case. This election of Prime Minister Raila to the AUC, indeed it was about our country. This election was not really about Raila per se. And I've seen some people say, oh, this election was about President William Ruto, and if he's a bad president, therefore our candidate wouldn't win. No, I take a different approach. The reality is we went in to hunt. I am saying I don't think we were prepared to hunt well and kill the elephant. My argument is we have a country where we are constantly looking for options and solutions away from the reality of what we are dealing with. I have heard my colleagues say that there were people celebrating that in fact Raila lost. Yes, they celebrated because they are fearful. They want Raila to come back because the country looks unstable and it's not ready to move on. That is where we are, Honorable Cherargei. This is not about tribes ganging up against bigger tribes and smaller tribes ganging against smaller ones. This is a state called Kenya, which is dysfunctional, where we have refused to accept the basic tenets. We have said, Honorable, my majority leader, you know I respect and love you as my brother. Thank you. I hope one day I'll join government and be with you. But I intend to remain in the opposition to keep some of you sober and sane. This process, because of the training I got when I was a minister in the government of President Kibaki, is a process which is handled quietly, efficiently, and successfully. When you are going for these positions, you must be able to look at the sensitivities and the issues in all these geopolitical issues of Africa. And yet, what have we done? We have localized this whole thing as if it's about Raila, who wanted to be something, and William Ruto, who wants to survive. Indeed, if that is the case, if Raila wanted the job and felt he would lose and come back here so that he joins President William Ruto's government, and therefore Kenya will become stable, my position is very simple. So long as you continue doing things the way you are doing them, the country will not be stable. When we were talking about what are the issues in Sudan, look at what you're having at KICC today. One group is at KICC parading themselves, and you are insensitive to the issues that we are supposed to be the arbiters of two people who are fighting on the African continent. When we are talking about Congo, the reality, my brother Cherargei, is that we have a region which is affected by illegal mineral mining, by countries that are feeling incredibly insecure. You have Western powers who have an interest in managing what is happening in Congo. And the reality is we just laugh at it. So when M23 are coming to Nairobi to come and have a meeting here with our president, the simple fact that they came here put everybody onto suspicion mode.
Just a minute, Senator Onyonka. There is a point of order from Senator Mandago.
Honorable Speaker, I've heard Senator Onyonka say M23 are coming to Nairobi. I don't know whether it's confusing.
I said when they came. I said when they came. I know you don't know. When they came, M23 came to Nairobi, met our president, they launched themselves here. What did you expect President Kagame to do? What did you expect him to do? When information is coming out that all these groups are meeting around Nairobi, and we are not careful.
There is a point of order still from...
I was just wondering whether
from Senator Mandago.
The operations of Parliament have changed. Can Senator Onyonka provide evidence that M23 indeed came to Nairobi, met the president, and launched themselves here? I think it's a dangerous statement to be allowed to go on record without evidence.
Substantiate. What
yes,
question are you asking
substantiate.
Me? That? Mr. My Chair Health, what I said was this. Anytime when you have these groups that are fighting in the East African region, and one of them appears to be Nairobi, what it happens is it creates a destabilization which sometimes is imaginary, and yet the expectation is just like South Sudan. When the earlier group, or when the first group that was against the government came to Nairobi and they met.
Onyonka, let me give you some direction.
Yes.
Since there is that point of order which you have not, we have not cleared, that it needs an evidence to show that M23 came to Kenya, met the president, and launched themselves.
What I said...
Maybe if you don't have that evidence, when are you ready to provide the evidence?
Mr. Speaker, what I said is that the M23 made contact, and indeed, the president of Kenya's responsibility was for him to start negotiating with them and the Rwandese government. What I am saying is, those discussions as they started...
Did you say that they came to Nairobi?
I said yes.
And met the president?
Yeah, no, I said they came, yes.
No. No, I don't need any direction from the members.
Say what you're saying.
That is why I'm here. I'm reasoning
why,
to the members.
I don't know why you don't want me to talk. Mr. Speaker, let me make it easy for you. I withdraw.
Okay, fine.
And apologize
Okay,
for my majority. Can I proceed?
Proceed.
So let me say, so that you don't waste my time, let me say what I'm saying. We, as a leadership, must understand that whatever that was happening is not removed from our reality. Just as you're planning to organize so that Prime Minister Raila can then go for his election at AU, what do? You allow individuals to pick Besigye and they abduct him and take him to Uganda. Internationally, Honorable Cherargei, you know that looks bad. Then when you are busy talking about South Africa, I know some of us may not understand that the South African government, having gone to Congo, the responsibility and the role they have played in Congo and all the issues that have been engaged must be handled so carefully. So carefully. But what do? And I said it on public. We then decide we are going to support Israel because the Israelis are our friends for years and years and years, and we make that announcement disregarding the sensitivities of what is happening in Gaza. Then we take that same narrative as we are having issues.
Senator Onyonka, there's another point of order from the majority leader.
You see, Mr. Speaker, I'm really sorry to Senator Onyonka because it's not my intention to disrupt him, but he's inviting this upon himself by claiming matters that are not factual, which leaves us with no other option than to interrupt him and ask him to check his records. I know for a fact that not once, twice or thrice that Kenya has made its position clear on the Palestine-Gaza dispute, that they believe in the two-state solution. We have never come out clear to say that we support any of the parties. Therefore, it is not right for Senator Onyonka to mislead the House
Mr. Speaker,
that we have identified with Israel to the exclusion of the Palestinians. That's not accurate.
Mr. Speaker, could I maybe use a different, maybe let me use a different angle to
when
make...
there is a member executing a point of order, you go back to a seat, you sit and wait.
Mr. Speaker, I feel like you're trying to harass me so much. I am saying
rules of the House. When there is a member,
Speaker, I know the rules, but you see, if I keep going that way, it's a bit tiring.
There's a seat just next to.
All right, and I've got his point, which I can.
You should not take advantage of the mic to just exchange with the member who has a point of order.
Much obliged. I would most probably answer him and say, let's leave the Israeli question. Can we talk about the rapid deployment force that is in Nairobi? You can legitimize, you can argue about it. So you are comfortable the RDF is in Nairobi. And the other Sudanese party is in Sudan, and they have written an official letter today where they are saying that you have actually violated their very essence, existence as a state. That is how, so you've been...
Majority leader.
You see, Mr. Speaker, you see, your colleagues are now answering me across because they don't want me to make my arguments.
With the member on the floor.
Let me just finish my debate.
No. And also, Senator Onyonka, just talk to the Speaker, not to the member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to say that I see here today my colleagues celebrating and talking about how Raila is the greatest man who was. How I wish we listened to what they are saying 3 years ago. How Raila was a mganga, how he was somebody who was completely useless to our political dispensation. Where, by the way, why have you never gotten rid of him? Now, today he's being praised of being the hero worship we wanted. Raila has been a hero worship, yes, but we will expect him to give us the excellence we expect from him. He will join your government, and if he is not going to demand that abductions stop in this republic, that we stop the corruption that is going on in our country, that we actually govern ourselves with the responsibility where we accept that our countries within our region respect us and we respect them. And then I saw my brother Cherargei going to Ethiopia. You carry 250 people who are singing Yote Yawezekana. You are threatening other African guys, ladies and gentlemen, who visited the occasion.
You remember, Senator Onyonka,
yes.
One thing that I did when the majority leader was on the floor, I protected you.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
When he mentioned your name.
Yes.
So can you kindly stop mentioning the members.
Oh,
names
my
and
apologies,
what
my leader.
So that you...
I apologize and
you don't
withdraw. You were not there. You were not
You
there.
know you are eating on
I
your
saw,
time. And
Mr.
will not
Speaker.
be having ample time to give you your points.
Much obliged,
You will be
Mr.
disrupted all the time with the points.
Mr. Speaker. I am much obliged. I would like to say this. I want to say, I get that, but he was there.
Senator Chalegay, stop exchanging with the member on the... Allow him to continue. What is your point of order, Senator Wakoli?
It's a chariot, my brother. Mr. Speaker.
Onyonka, let us listen this point of order. So I will ask the clerk, when you know you are misusing my mic, the clerks. When the member is on a point of order, switch off the other mic, so that now we can be orderly.
Honorable Speaker, I'm standing on order of responsibility of statement of fact, Honorable Speaker. When an honorable member stands here and casts aspersions on the delegation from Kenya, we might not agree with you, but when you say they were intimidating, can you table facts that Kenyans, headed by the president, were intimidating people in Addis Ababa? This is a Senate. This is not a small thing in the village. Honorable Senior Senator, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to mention to my brother, the senator from Bungoma, that normally when people go to watch football games, that's how they behave. But when people go to an international conference and they're trying to negotiate and influence other people to vote for their candidate, they behave differently. I know you love football. You may not see the contradiction. I want to say this, Mr. Speaker. It is true for many of us that for me, Prime Minister Raila losing that seat was a shock. But I saw him accept the verdict gracefully. I would like to state to my colleagues in this House that if such an occasion comes back again, because it could, please let us make sure we do a thorough job. Let us consult the ambassadors, former ambassadors, the technical personnel. We could have done it better. Is it true that I knew this? No, I didn't. I'm just saying, when you go to play and you have scored many goals, then you have to figure out what to do with the team, especially with the team manager. I would like to say one last comment, Mr. Speaker. I have no problem if ODM and my leader Raila decides to join the government of the day, because I understand the complexity of Kenya's politics. But, Mr. Speaker, I heard somebody say, give me something that I can be proud of. Give me democracy. Make sure we minimize our corruption. Stop using negative ethnicity of turning around and saying that because you have disagreed with people who you have struck a deal with. And indeed, by the way, Mr. Speaker, I listened to this House severally. Some of these contradictions we have are a consequence of the broken system of our governance structure. Why is it that every 5 years the vice president is fighting with his president? Why is it that we are not able to deal with the dysfunctionality of our financials in this republic? How can we talk about Kenya as a great country when you know we are in debt, we can't finish a railway, the revenue we are collecting, we don't even know what's happening, the county governments are having a problem? Then you expect me to have something to be proud of. I am proud to be a Kenyan, yes, but I expect more. I expect better from all of us. Stop cheering around and singing how you think now power has come to your hands. You are going to employ your relatives and cousins. No! We now need intelligent people to sit down and guide the president and the prime minister to make sure this country runs in the direction where we can be fully proud and happy that we are moving as a team. Stop alienating some communities because of political disagreements. Sit with them and talk with them. Majority Leader, Aren't you sitting with the gentleman there with big hair? I wanted to make a reference. Thank you.
Senator Onyonka, you know you are seasoned registry.
Yeah? Mr. Speaker, I'm a bit emotional about this. Allow me.
How can you describe Honorable Medhu in that manner?
He accepts the matter. I wanted to say how beautiful I see both of you. You have disagreed politically and yet you are talking. That is how it should be. Let us not escalate it to the next level. I see us escalating this war to the next level. And I want to mention finally, Mr. Speaker, that whatever it takes for this Senate, whatever it takes all of you, for the next 2.5 years, this country has been left in your hands. Make sure the leadership listens to what the Kenyan public is saying. Especially, I had somebody trying to dismiss the role of the young people. Some of us are just saying it purely. Please listen to these young people. And it's not about me wanting to be on TikTok. I've had some of my colleagues always jump up and say, yeah, I'm at 6 million views. Those things don't matter to me. I don't even have to come back to this house again as a senator or any leadership position, because I am extremely disappointed at the way we are carrying ourselves when we are advantaged. When we are not disadvantaged. When we are disadvantaged, we behave differently. When we are advantaged, we behave differently. It is convenient. This state does not convenience. This state needs factual analysis, evaluation, and conclusions on matters that are going to help us govern. The president should succeed. He should listen to us. What is working, let him continue working on it. What is failing, can he stop, fix it, and then we move forward. Mr. Speaker, I support.